who bear record of the word of God and of the testimony
21, 1 and 2. Revelations 21, 1 and 2.
Revelation 21, 1 and 2.
Bring it out.
And I saw a new heaven and a new earth.
Right.
For the first heaven and the first earth were passed away. And there was no more sea.
And there was no more sea. Right.
And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from God out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband.
Right. So this is the new heaven and the new earth. You know, in the Christian church, we was taught that heaven was going to come down. It was going to be a 12 by 12 city. I don't know how tall. It was going to be a perfect square. You know what I mean? All gold. Is going to come down prepared. But that's not what's going on here. We was brainwashed. So we have to go back. We have to relearn what the Spirit is saying. Read it again.
Okay. 21 and 1. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth.
Right, a new rulership. A new kingdom. A new dominion. Give me that in 2 Ezra 6 and 9, Judah, real quick. 2 Ezra 6 and 9.
Book of 2 Ezra, chapter 6 and verse 9.
Read that.
For Esau is it's the end of the world.
Right, so the end of this world, the end of this heaven, the end of this age is Esau. And you can see that now. You can see this kingdom of the world is falling. Even now, I just got a text that Putin is, they're considering invading Ukraine as we speak. As we speak, we could be on the doorsteps of World War II. As we bring it, the more we bring this out around the country, the more prophecies speed up. So we're going to keep bringing it up. We're going to keep bringing it out, right? So read that again, Judah.
For Esau is the end of the world.
Right, so this kingdom is finna be gone. They going to send these nukes over here so fast. They got a nuke, I think they got a missile that can be over here in like 5 minutes. And destroy all of America, man. From the time that they launched this missile, I think you got like 5 minutes to get your shit together. Right? Read it one more time.
For Esau is the end of the world.
And what else?
And Jacob is the beginning of it that follows.
And Jacob is the beginning of that follows. This is the new heaven, the new earth that John, the Revelator, seen coming out of heaven. Read it again, Jasper. Revelations 2. 21 and 1.
And I saw a new heaven and a new earth.
Right?
For the first heaven and the first earth were passed away. And there was no more sea.
And there was no more sea. Right? Let's go to Revelation 17 and 15. Let me show you what that means. So now you get taught in a Christian church that there's going to be no more water. Somehow there's going to be no more sea, no more fishes, no more, aquatic animals. That's not what that means, man. These things have to be broke down through the precepts. Give me that.
Revelation 17 and 15.
Right?
And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest.
The water which thou sawest. The sea. Read.
Where the whore sitteth. Are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues.
Right, so the waters are peoples. They're multitudes, nations, and tongues. Right? Give me what do I want? Give me Daniel 7 and 13. Daniel 7 and 13. Watch this. Give me that, Shanada.
Daniel chapter 7, verse 13.
Right?
I saw in the night visions, and behold, one like the Son of Man came with the clouds of heaven.
Right?
And came to the Ancient of Days.
And
they brought him near before him.
Right?
And there was given him dominion and glory in a kingdom.
Right, so what we see in Revelation is a kingdom that's being set up that will always be forever. After this kingdom comes, that Yahushua comes and he reigns, this kingdom, they'll tell you in a Christian church that the devil's going to get back out after 1,000 years and this and that. No. Once we get the kingdom, we're going to take the kingdom forever. Give me that in Daniel, what's that?
17.
Aiden, give me that real quick.
I got it.
But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever.
For how long?
Forever.
Uh-huh.
Even forever and ever.
Right? Read. Was that on there?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to take the kingdom forever. These Edomites, these dragons and devils will never rise again. But finish that in Daniel 7 and 14.
Okay, I get it.
Shanetta, Daniel 7 and 14.
Daniel 7 and verse 14. And there was given him dominion and glory and a kingdom that all people, nations, and languages should serve him.
You see that? This is that sea. And there was no more sea. Read that again. We don't have to read it. It says there was no more sea. And then it say that the waters that thou seenest was what?
Peoples, nations, multitudes, and tongues.
Right, so there's no longer going to be kingdoms of this earth. We just seen this in Daniel. Once Yahweh Shah come back and set up his rulership, you will never see Russia, the Ukraine. There will never be a kingdom of Japan, a kingdom of China, a kingdom of America. No, the Most High is going to put everything under Yahweh Shah's foot. And Yahweh Shah, he's going to put us in rulership. Right? So give me, let's prove that. Give me Revelations 19 and 12. Give me that, Shanetta. Start at 11. 19 and 11. Revelation 19 and 11.
Revelations chapter 19, verse 11.
Read that.
And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse.
Right?
And he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True. And in righteousness he doeth judge and make war.
He do what?
He doeth judge and make war.
So Yahweh Shah is coming back to judge and to make war. Who is he making war with? The kingdoms of this earth. Read on.
Verse 12. His eyes were as a flame of fire.
He's mad as hell. He's mad as hell for what you've done to his people, for what you've done to his image, on how you lied upon his name, right? The deceit, how you deceived the whole world, how you destroyed his creation. Read it again.
His eyes were as a flame of fire. And on his head were many crowns.
On his head were many crowns. Why? Because he came to make war. So on his head are the crowns of the kings who he conquered. America, China, Russia, Japan, Ukraine. You name it. Right? Every nation not known Israel will be conquered. Give me
Did you want the rest or no?
Give me the rest. Somebody give me Luke 19 and 27.
And on his head were many crowns, and he had a name written that no man knew, but he himself.
Right, because he came, the name that he came in before was the Lamb. Right? Was a peaceful, a harmless name, a peaceful, harmless image. Right? This is the name that they knew, the Lamb. But the name that he's coming in, nobody knows, because they've never seen Yahweh Shah cutting off heads. They're gonna see a man who they don't know, right? Give me. Let's get a visual of his image, of his name. Give me Luke 19 and 27.
Luke 19 and verse 27.
Right, because they say he's coming back. He's gonna have this little lamb in his hand. His blonde hair is gonna be waving in the breeze. When he talk, you're gonna hear the angels say, "Ah." You see what I'm saying? It's gonna be rainbows behind him. And little white angels with wings. And, it's going to be an all-white party, right? Edomites all in the sky. We're still going to be slaves in heaven, right? This is the kingdom that they think is coming. But that's not the kingdom that's approaching. A so-called black man is going to come. He's going to chop off the heads of so-called white people. Give me that. Luke 19 and 27. I know they don't want to hear it, but this is the fact. This is why we're suffering. This is why you should be doing what you're doing so you can have this new heaven and this new earth. This is why we're suffering. And this is where our hope is. That Yahweh Shah, our king, king of the Jews, is going to come back and deliver us from the hand of our enemies. Give me that, Luke 19 and 27.
Luke 19 and verse 27.
Read that.
But those mine enemies.
What the Lord say?
But those mine enemies.
But those mine enemies. Read.
Which would not that I should reign over them.
Read.
Bring hither, and slay them before me.
Right, because he said, those mine enemies that what?
That would not that I should reign over them.
Right?
Bring them before me and slay them.
Right. Why is he saying this? He said, if everybody loves Jesus, why is Yahweh Shah coming back and saying, those that will not have me the Lord over them, bring them here and bring them in front of me and slay them before me? Why? Because when you tell the earth that Yahweh Shah is a black man, they'll say they'll serve Jesus, this image of a white man. But they'll never serve the King of Kings, as it is written. When you get to going to Revelations 1 and 14, boom, color don't matter. That's the Antichrist spirit. These are the enemies that would not have a so-called black man rule over them. So all of those people will have to be drugged to Yahweh Shah and next gonna get chopped. Right? I'm gonna give you proof of that. Hold on real quick.
I got a precept.
Bring it out. Bring out your precept.
Revelations 21 and 12.
Revelations 21 and 12. Yeah, give me that.
And had a wall great and high, and had, well, let's go up, 11. Having the glory of Yahweh, and her light was like unto a stone most precious, even like a jasper stone, clear as crystal.
Mm-hmm.
And had a wall great and high, and had 12 gates,
Right.
and at the gates 12 angels, and names written thereon, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel.
Right. I want y'all to watch this. Watch this.
And we take questions from you. I would encourage you to send in your questions. You can send them to CTVN, hardquestions@ctvn.org, or call us on the number that's on the screen, 888-665-4483. I'm the moderator of this fine group of pastors. What do you call a group of pastors? Oh, yeah, a group of pastors. And I'm the moderator on this panel are
Dr. William R. Glaze, Bethany Baptist Church in Pittsburgh.
Ray Heupel, pastor of Providence Presbyterian Church in Robinson Township.
I'll behave. Pete Giacalone, Rainbow Temple Assembly of God Church, McKeesport, Pennsylvania.
J. Anthony Gilbert, Kingdom Restoration Christian Center, Mount Washington.
Hey, Don, can I say something?
absolutely, brother.
You said that way people can get their questions to us.
Yes.
Well, I got another way. They can hand it to the pastor on their way out of church. I had somebody that they were at our church. They wrote up a hard question. They said, I got a hard question for you. And they gave it to me on their way out of church.
And Pastor, that's the one we're going to talk about today.
That's right.
So why don't you...
Handed me a question on his way out.
I think that's a fantastic question. So questions on the table. Who goes first?
Well, a friend of mine one time was telling me he...
We're here with our...
Don, can I say something?
Absolutely, bro.
You said that, and they gave it to me on their way out of church.
And Pastor, that's what we're going to talk about today.
Picked it as a white person, but he asked a question when he was here on this earth, that he was here for 30-some years, and he wanted to know.
So the question was, what color was Jesus during the time on earth, right? So what we just read is we're going to see it in real time. This is the state of the earth right now as we live. They will not accept Yahweh Shah as a black man, and they will not accept his people, these people here in America, as the Jews.
What color was he when he walked the face of this earth?
I think that's a fantastic question. So questions on the table. Who goes first?
Well, a friend of mine one time was telling me he was outside the lunchroom at his work, and he heard a lot of commotion, and he walked into the lunchroom just in time to hear someone say, "But the Shroud of Turin proves that Jesus was black." And he said, "What do you say?"
Now, what I want y'all to do is check out the craftiness of Esau. Now, he'll say out of one side of his neck that Yahweh Shah really didn't have a color. He was kind of olive. But then he'll lead you down a path to show you that Yahweh Shah was European. Watch the way he do it. Watch this.
Walk into a room like that. Well, I think what we like to do is we like to put Christ into our controversies today and try to make him this or that. I think clearly Jesus was Jewish. He is the descendant.
So that's what he just said. Who are the Jewish people? You see that? Watch it. He's planting seeds.
Of Abraham, he's the son of David. And so we know his ethnicity. He was a Jew. He was a full-blooded Jew in his human nature. And we can even go a little further, I think. The Bible says that, one place that Jacob and Esau were twins, and Esau was all red hair. And another place, Song of Solomon, Solomon's hair was like raven, black as a raven. So we see some black hair, some red hair in the Jewish people. David was described as ruddy and good-looking. Yes, a lot of people would say that about me, right? No.
You see what he's doing?
Yeah, he repainted the image.
Yeah, as himself, as his people. Esau was red. Jacob and Esau was twins. David was red and ruddy like me. You see?
Which part?
But it's interesting. The word ruddy there is the word red for Edom.
Yeah.
And you wonder if David had red hair because it said he has beautiful eyes and ruddy. Now, when we see someone, we typically describe them by their hair, and so I've conjectured: did David have red hair? But regardless of those pictures and what might have been in his genetic pool, he was Jewish, probably an olive-colored skin, and clearly, I think there's a range of what it could have been for his hair color just from looking at the scriptures. Again, seeing the red hair, the dark hair.
And Don, we just got back from that land. It's a beautiful land, and I hope all those who are watching, I hope God gives you your dream someday to go to Israel. I know that's your passion to go someday, and you cannot live in that land and be as white as what many white churches want to present to you. It's impossible. Your skin is going to change. It's going to be that olive color presentation. And then, like you said about the genetics.
Have you ever? I've never seen an olive person.
What is olive like?
I've never seen. When you look at an original olive, it's black.
It's a black and it's a green.
Original olive is black, unless there's some green people here. I've seen a green olive. I've never seen green people. I've seen a black olive and a green olive. I've seen dark-skinned people, but I've never seen green people. So what are they talking about? These are all lies. He was Mediterranean. He was Middle Eastern.
Jewish.
He was Jewish. He was red like Edom. You see? Now it's got more here.
There's no doubt Jesus was not a white man as we see with the blue eyes. No way.
He was a Middle Eastern. Abraham's described as an Aramaean, right? And then we have Jesus walking the earth, descendant of Abraham, descendant of David. At one point we have an interesting passage in Numbers 12 where it says Moses was married to an Ethiopian woman, right? So, there's probably some mixed genetics within the gene pool of the Jews themselves coming out of Egypt with a mixed multitude. Rahab the Moabite, or the Ruth the Moabitess. What was the Moabite? Again, definitely a Middle Eastern type of skin color. Not white, not black, but somewhere, we'll be olive skin color.
Well, I think that's great. It's funny. I don't know if y'all remember the thing with Megyn Kelly back in 2013. Do you remember that when she talked about how Jesus was white? Yeah. Do you remember that situation? Well, she came on and talked about how her Christ was white. And another lady came on who was Jewish and said she's correct. And this is what she said Jesus was Middle Eastern in his natural physical body, and he was Jewish and Hebrew. But Christ is whomever he needs to be to you. Paul said, to the Jew, I became a Jew. To the Greek, I became a Greek. And so the Christ part of him, he's whoever he wants us to be. There's no color of who he is in Christ.
So give me that Luke 19 and 27. All these men are going to be killed. Because they don't want to worship Yahweh Shah as the scripture says. So all these men, when they see, that's why it says when the Son of Man return, there's going to be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Because they're not going to want to look at a brother that may look like me, ruling over them. This is the last thing that they would ever. Tyrone, damn Terrell in the sky.
With some braids.
Man. It's man coming back, man. Bring that out. Luke 19 and 27.
Luke 19 and verse 27.
Read that.
But those mine enemies, which would not that I should reign over them, bring hither and slay them before me.
Give me 1 John 4 and 1. So you can see what Christianity is actually the Antichrist.
Yeah.
That's what Christianity is in a nutshell. It's the spirit of the Antichrist. Watch this. You got it? Read. Let's prove it.
1 John chapter 4, verse 1.
Read that.
Beloved, believe not every spirit.
Right? The Bible says to believe not every spirit, y'all. Read.
But try the spirits, whether they are of Yahweh.
Right, so you have to try the spirit by the spirit. You have to try what a man says according to the scriptures. You have to see what these men say match up to the scriptures. Then you'll know if they're of the Most High. Read on.
Because many false prophets are gone out into the world.
Right?
Hereby know ye the spirit of Yahweh. Every spirit that confesseth not that Yahweh Shai is come in the flesh is of...
Read it again.
Every spirit that confesseth that Yahweh Shai is come in the flesh is of Yahweh.
Right? So every spirit that confesseth that Yahweh Shai came in the flesh. Meaning what? He was a black man. He was a so-called black man. That don't mean that, oh, he just had a... No, we all had bodies. What did his flesh look like? He was a Jew. He was a Hebrew. He was a so-called Negro. Right? That's who Yahweh Shai was. And we confess that. But read verse 4.
Verse 4. Ye are of Yahweh, little children.
Give me verse 3.
Verse 3. And every spirit that confesseth not that Yahweh Shai is come in the flesh is not of Yahweh.
Right?
And this is that spirit of Antichrist.
This is what?
That spirit of Antichrist.
Why? So they can't confess that Yahweh Shai was a so-called black man. And this is how we prove that the Christian church is the original spirit of the Antichrist. Because on one side of their mouth they will say, oh, Jesus had no color, he was olive color. But right back in the background while they teach, they're gonna have white angels, white God, and white Jesus. This is the spirit of the Antichrist. This is why they're gonna get slayed. Why? Give me verse. Let's further prove that. Give me 1 John 5 and 10. Watch this. 1 John 5 and 10.
1 John chapter 5 and verse 10.
Read that.
He that believeth on the Son of God hath the witness in himself.
Right?
But that believeth not God hath made him a liar.
He that believeth not God hath made him a liar. So this is how you make the Most High a liar. Read.
Because he believeth not in the record that God gave his Son.
Because he believeth not of the record that God gave of his Son. Right? These men are Antichrist. How can you say that Yahweh Shai had no color when the Most High left a record of his Son? What color his flesh was? This is the spirit of the Antichrist. Right? Give me, let's go to that record. Give me Revelations 1 and 1. Give me Revelations 1 and 1.
Revelations 1 and 1.
Bring that up.
The revelation of Yahweh Shai, which God gave unto him.
This is the record. This is the revealing of who they call Jesus. Read it again.
The revelation of Yahweh Shai, which God gave unto him, to shew unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass. And he sent and signified it by his angel unto his servant John.
Right, so John seen Yahweh Shai. Read on.
Who bear record.
Who did what?
Who bear record.
This is the record. There is the record of Yahweh Shai in these scriptures. Read it again.
Who bear record of the word of God.
Uh-huh.
And of the testimony of Yahweh Shai.
Right.
And of all the things that he saw.
Right, so drop down to verse 10.
I got it. Revelation 1 and 10. I was in the spirit on the Lord's day.
Like we are right now. That's what we are. We're in the spirit on the Lord's day. We're in his spirit on the Sabbath. Read on.
And heard behind me a great voice as of a trumpet.
Right, so he was in these scriptures. And all of a sudden Yahweh Shai appeared behind him. Read.
Saying, I am Alpha and Omega.
And this is what Yahweh Shai said. Read.
The first and the last.
Uh-huh.
And what thou seest, write in a book.
We said what?
And what thou seest, write in a book.
Anything that's important, you write it down. He said, write down the record that I'm about to give of me. Anything that's important, you take notes. You might want to come back, research the note again. You might want to go back and, you know what I'm saying? So you don't forget. Right? Now go to verse 14.
Okay. His head and his hairs were white like wool.
Now this is the record. He had white, woolly hair. Read.
As white as snow.
Right, like a black man. Like Elder Noah. Elder Noah has white, woolly hair. As white as snow. Read.
And his eyes were as a flaming fire.
Right? Because it's customary that the Jews drunk wine. And that's what we do. We drink yan. Our people even made it. I remember when I was a boy, my father, he would make it on Sundays. The liquor store would close. And I don't even know if he can make it to this day. He probably could. But he would, look, Pops would fill the bathtub. He would make wine in the damn bathtub. And the house would be full. I promise you. When I think about it, like, damn, they was drinking wine out the bathtub.
That probably was some good wine.
Man, the house would be, every room was full. And they be, loud breaking stuff. And then you go in the bathroom, no, hey, the bathtub is empty. I'm gonna ask Pop about that, man. But read that again.
Okay.
His eyes?
And his eyes were as a flame of fire.
Now this is the record. Give me verse 15.
And his feet like unto fine brass.
Now, he's only seeing his feet. Give me Daniel 10 and 5. You can only see his feet. Why? Because he has on a garment. You can only see his hands because of his garment. Mm-hmm. But he can see his feet, and they're like fine brass. As if what?
As if they burned in a furnace.
So he was a very dark man. So if any man on this earth can't bear record with the record that the Most High left of his son, he is the Antichrist. This is the record that our spirit bear witness with, that he looked like you. If you was in Jerusalem, right, now living under the sun that they lived under, you look like you be burnt in the furnace.
So I got a question.
You look like you look what happened when we go down to Florida.
Yeah.
For a week. We burnt.
Black.
And even signs tell us that, hey, the heat that they was under then, we're not under. The earth is tilted. Right? So the sun is not beaming on us directly like it was back then. What Job say? Give me Job 30 and 30. Let's get a couple examples of that. Give me Wisdom of Solomon 1 and 5.
I got it.
What's that? What's your question?
So it was saying that every spirit that confesses not that Yahushua is coming to flesh, meaning how he truly look.
How he truly look.
Would that be part of that's part of the mark of the beast?
Me too.
I don't get what you're saying. How is that part of the mark of the beast?
The Antichrist spirit.
Yeah, it's definitely the Antichrist spirit. We just showed you that through the precepts, because it's against Christ.
No, I'm asking.
Yeah, that's the Antichrist. So yeah, ultimately that would be linked to the beast, the mark of the beast. That's all the Antichrist. You.
What?
I got Daniel 10
You got that? Give me Daniel 10 and 5.
Okay, Daniel 10 and 5. Then I lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a certain man clothed in linen. Right,
so this is Yahushua, clothed in linen. This is why John could only see his feet. Son, you hear this, David? Read.
Whose loins were girded with fine gold of Uphaz.
Hey, man, he had that golden girdle around. Hey, man, he was sharp. I want me a golden girdle and a golden crown. I want it now. Read.
His body also was like the beryl.
Now, you know why black people like green and gold. We've always liked it green and gold. Money green and gold. Why? Because it just go together. It's royal. This is what he got on. He got on money green and gold. He clean. Read.
And his face as the appearance of lightning.
Right?
And his eyes as lamps of fire.
Mm-hmm.
And his arms and his feet like in color to polished brass.
Like what?
And his arms and his feet like in color to polished brass.
To polished brass. Now you got two records of Yahushua in the Bible, but yet these wicked men said there's no record of him. You see? Now let's get up. That's the spirit of the Antichrist. Give me that's Job. Let's see what you're gonna look like under the original sun. Give me Job 30 and 30. Did you have that, David? Job 30 and 30. Let David get it. Job 30 and 30. Help him out. Job 30 and 30.
Job chapter 30 and verse 30.
You got Song of Solomon? 1 and 5? Yeah.
30 and verse 30.
What Job say?
My skin is black upon me.
What Job say?
My skin is black upon me.
Job said, my skin is black upon me. And what?
And my bones are burned with heat.
And my bones are burnt with. He was under that good sun, y'all. He was on. That's why our face all pale and stuff right now. Cause we ain't under that good sun. But if we was under that good sun, hey man, you be black, and your bones will be burnt with heat, right? As if you burnt in the furnace. That's how that heat was over there. The heat over there on the daily was like over 100 and something degrees. But you gotta understand, our bodies was able to bear more. We were stronger, right? And that's why Esau, he ran from the caves to damn. He want to stay in them damn caves. He can't. He go to Florida. They down there dying of sun cancer, right? They're over there dying of sun cancer in Jerusalem. How can you be the people of that land, but you can't put your expose your skin to the sun over there, right?
That's why they be wearing all them scarves all over their body.
That's why they cover their body like that. And it's hot as hell. They trying to hide from the sun. But that's, look. So, yeah. So, let's go back to Revelations 21.
Did you want Song of Solomon?
Yeah, I want that. I need that.
Oh, and I had Revelation 21 too.
I got you. Just hold on.
Song of Solomon 1 and 6.
What Solomon say?
Look not upon me, because I am black.
What Solomon say?
Look not upon me, because I am black.
Read.
Because the sun have looked upon me.
That's two witnesses of what that son will do while you over there. This is why Yahweh actually is three witnesses. It says as if he was burnt in the furnace. And them man were dark skinned, and it's because of the climate. It's because of the sun. Right? And they was a gloss. It wasn't just black. It was that beautiful black with that shine. That shine on it. It's like light coming off. It's beautiful. You see? All right. So that's the witness, and those guys are liars. They got the Antichrist spirit. Now go back to Revelations 21 and 1. Give me 2. Matter of fact, Revelations 21 and 2. Let me show you something.
Revelation chapter 22.
21 and 2.
21 verse 22.
No, 21 and 2.
21. Verse 2.
21 verse 2. And I, John, saw the holy city.
John saw the holy city, right?
New Jerusalem.
New Jerusalem.
Coming down from God out of heaven. Prepared as a bride adorned for her husband.
Right, because Jerusalem went up. And the Jerusalem is coming down. Right? Give me Revelations 11 and 12. Right? So, because we went up. And we're going to come down perfect. Give me that Revelations 11 and 12.
Revelations 11 verse 12.
You got that quick?
Yeah.
You ain't got that quick. Oh, man. Okay, let's go.
Revelation chapter 11 verse 12.
Bring that out.
And they heard a great voice coming from heaven,
Saying what?
saying unto them, Come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them.
Right. So, we're gonna go up in the cloud. Give me verse 13, Jasper. Okay. So, watch this. Verse 13.
Revelation 11 and 13.
Read that.
In the same hour was there a great earthquake.
Right.
And the 10th part of the city fell.
Right.
And in the earthquake were slain of men 7,000.
Right.
And the remnant were affrighted, and gave glory to the God of heaven.
Right. So at the same hour, these chariots are now. Give me Wisdom of Solomon 18 and I believe 15 real quick. These chariots are not only the vehicles of deliverance, but they're also the vehicles of destruction. So the same chariots, in the way that they deliver us, in the same hour they're going to destroy Babylon. And it says, in the same hour was there a great earthquake, and the 10th part of the city fell. 10th is a whole number. It's a complete number, meaning all of Babylon will be destroyed, right? And it says, and in the earthquake were slain of man 7,000. Now 7,000 is also a complete number. There is no one going to survive in Babylon. The Most High is going to destroy all of America, right? And we going up in them chariots. Give me that. What I call out? 18 and 16. Y'all supposed to have that ready already.
I got it.
Wisdom of Solomon
18 and 16.
Yeah.
I got it. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 18, verse 16.
Give me 18 and 7 is what I need.
18 and 7.
Uh-huh.
Wisdom of Solomon 18 and 7. So of thy people was accepted both the salvation of the righteous and destruction of the enemies.
Right, so that's that voice. This is the same thing Ezra is telling us. Right, and he said accept it, man. Not everybody's going to accept it. The salvation of the righteous is the same thing as the destruction of the wicked. You cannot be saved unless your enemies be destroyed. Read verse 8.
Verse 8. For wherewith thou didst punish our adversaries.
So with the same tool that you use to punish our adversaries, read.
By the same thou didst glorify us.
You saved us. Read.
Whom thou hast called.
You see that? So these are the chariots of salvation. So Israel went up and Israel is coming down, the New Jerusalem. Give me Isaiah 60 and 10. Right? Because
Isaiah.
hold on, David.
Isaiah 60 and verse 10.
Hold on, Judah. Because you got to understand that heaven is not coming down pre-built. Heaven has to be built and all the things in it. So you can have an idea. Right now, we just going to give you the foundation of what's going on, who went up, who's coming down. And then after that, we're going to go into the details. We're going to go to the details of how the city's going to be built. We're going to be going into the details of how your body's going to be, what it's going to be like, all the different people, what you're going to be doing. The scriptures tell us all that. It's not going to be boring. We're not going to be sitting there all day saying, praise Jesus, praise Jesus. No, you're going to have a life. You're going to have a life, and your life is going to be the best life ever. Better than you can think or even imagine. Your life is going to be so hype. It's going to be so hype. You're going to have garments every day. Right? It's going to be jumping. You're going to have gold. Look, man, we going to do the thing, man. Right? So right now, we just going to show you what's going on. The swapping of kingdoms. The end of one kingdom and the rise of another. The end of Esau and the beginning of Jacob. So what I call out?
Isaiah 60 and 10.
Right. So in the same way we built America, hey, the new kingdom got to be built. Read that.
Isaiah 60 Isaiah 16, verse 10.
Uh-huh.
And the sons of strangers shall build up
Matter
the
of
walls.
fact, give me verse 8.
Verse 8. Who are these that fly as a cloud?
Right? Because then he said we was going up in the cloud.
Yeah.
Read verse 8.
Who are these that fly as a cloud?
Now we in that cloud. We in that chariot. Read.
And as the doors to their windows.
And we looking out the windows of the chariots. We watching America being destroyed. The Bible is saying that right now. Read.
Surely the Isos shall wait for me,
Uh-huh.
and the ships of Tarshish first,
To do what?
to bring thy sons from far.
Hey, Yahweh Shah he gonna come all the way to come get us. And he gonna take us to that land. Hey man, we gonna be weeping and crying. It's gonna be like a dream. Right? It's gonna be the thing that we always, we had faith for, but now it's happening. At a blink of an eye, Russia done press that button. A missile is coming. As the missiles are entering the atmosphere, Yahweh Shah done swooped in with the chariots and got his people. Right? And we're looking out the windows. We see the bombs going off. We see the people trying to get away. We see the planes being caught up in flames and smoke. We see it. Read on.
Okay. Their silver and gold with them, unto the name of the Lord thy God, and to the Holy One of Israel, because he hath glorified thee.
Read on.
And the sons of the strangers shall build up thy walls.
The what?
The sons of the strangers shall build up thy walls.
And we taking it told us that, right? In Isaiah 14:1. Get that real quick. Where are these sons and the strangers coming from?
The nations.
We're gonna need slaves, man. We're gonna need slaves. So every Edomite listening to this, and you want a chance to make it out of America, you better humble down and make yourself like a good slave. That's what you better do, or you will have not any chance whatsoever. Give me Isaiah 14:1.
Isaiah 14:1.
Read that.
For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land.
He's coming to get us. His sons and his daughters. He just told us that in Isaiah 60. Read on.
And set them in their own land.
And we going to our own land. Read.
And the strangers shall be joined with them.
White.
And they shall cleave to the house of Jacob.
White. So upon leaving this place, man, we're gonna take slaves. We're gonna need slaves to build the kingdom, man. Read.
Okay. And the people shall take them.
You're gonna pick. They're gonna be begging then. The same ones, well, it's not good. The ones that was calling you a nasty effing nigga, they gonna be destroyed. But it's the ones like when Yahweh Shah, like they don't understand that parable about. Let's bring that out real quick. Let's get some understanding on this. Let's get some understanding. Give me Matthew 15:21. Right? So let's see what type of slaves are gonna make it.
Matthew 15:21.
Give me that, Sonata. Let's explain it.
Matthew chapter 15, verse 21.
Read that.
Then Yahushua went thence and departed into the coast of Tyre and Sidon.
Right?
And behold, a woman of Canaan came out of the same coast and cried unto him, saying, Have mercy on me, O Lord.
Now this was a Canaanite woman, a non-Israelite woman. Watch how Yahweh Shah dealt with her. Read.
Have mercy on me, O Lord.
And she's begging for salvation. She's begging for mercy to be saved. What Yahweh Shah say?
Thou son of David, my daughter is grievously vexed with the devil.
Uh-huh.
But he answered her not a word.
Man, he didn't give a damn. He didn't give a damn. Now the Christian church would try to take this and say the woman's faith. And no, let's deal with this. And he answered her not a word. He didn't. The Son of God, the Lamb that came to take away the sins of the world, did not answer her. Read on.
Verse 23. But he answered her not a word.
Uh-huh.
And his disciples came and besought him, saying, Send her away, for she crieth after us.
Because we had no, if you wasn't a Jew, we was not dealing with you. We weren't dealing with no dogs, damn, no beasts, no animals. Read.
Verse 24. But he answered and he said, I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
So Yahushua was only sent for us. He was only sent for us. And he told her straight to her face, hey, there's nothing I could do for you. Read on.
25. Then came she, worship him, saying, Lord, help me.
What do these Edomites have to do?
Come and worship and
Read
say,
it again.
help us. Then came she and worshipped him, saying, Lord, help me.
What? They're going to have to get a little lower.
Come.
They're going to have to get low. Then they're going to have to get a little lower. Then they're going to have to submit all the way down. Read on.
Verse 26. But he answered her and said, it is not meet to take the children's bread and to cast it to dogs.
He called her a dog. Imagine calling a woman a dog today and tell me that she's not going to try to fight you. He was literally trying to provoke her. Look, I can't, you a dog. It's not meet for me to give to you what's to the people to you, because you're a dog. What? You're nothing. But read on. 27.
And she said, truth, Lord.
How many people do you know outside of Israel are willing to accept this role? They always want to use this example, but they don't want to they don't want to admit that she humbled herself down to nothing. And that's the only way these nations is getting into the kingdom, as they humble themselves as into a servant, as into a dog, as into nothing. Give me that in 2 Ezra 6 and 54. Keep reading, Shanetta.
I got it.
Verse 27. And she said, truth, Lord, yet the dogs eat of the crumbs which fall from their master's table.
Right?
Then Yahushua answered and said unto her, O woman, great is thy faith. Be it unto thee, even as thou wilt. And her daughter was made whole from that very hour.
So, if you're a non-Israelite and you're willing to accept your role as a dog, and you may get healing. It tell you that in Revelations. Give me that real quick, Shanetta. Revelations 22. Revelations 22 and 2. Read that.
Revelations 22 and 2.
Read that.
In the midst of the streets of it, and on either side of the river, was there the tree of life.
Right, the tree of life. Read.
Which bare 12 manners of fruit, and yielded her fruit every month. And the leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations.
Right, so the fruit was for the 12 tribes, for the people. And the leaves are for what?
For the healing of the nations.
Right, so the leaf is just like, it's the same thing in Deuteronomy. Right? It's the curses. It's the, what's that? You gonna get crumbs. Now, if I got a fat, juicy peach, man, inside the peach is the juice, the sweetness, the nutrients, everything that I want. I take that, I smash that peach and I throw you the leaf. This is what the woman got. This is what the nation's gonna get, crumbs from the master's table. This is what she asked for. This is what she was good with. And he said, okay, if you good with that, then cool. So that's what it is. Give me that, Judah. Let's see what they are.
2 Ezra, chapter 6 and verse 45.
Read that. I said,
7:56, right?
yeah, I said 6 and 54.
Oh, 6 and 54.
Yeah.
Upon the 4th day, thou commandest. And
6.
after
Yeah, give me that, Gracie, because this guy.
2 Ezra 6 and 54.
Read that.
And after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all.
So we all came from Adam through Noah and his sons, right? Either you come from Shem, Ham, or Japheth. Read on.
And the people also whom thou hast chosen.
Why? Because he chose Shem and the descendants of Shem. He didn't choose Ham or Japheth. Read.
All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes.
So the Most High made the world for our sakes. We are the sons of Shem. We are the sons of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And the world was made for our sakes. Read.
As for the other people,
If you came from Cain, Ham, Japheth, the other people, the dogs. Read.
which also cometh Adam,
You came from Adam too. We get it. Read.
thou hast said that they are nothing.
What the Lord say?
Thou hast said that they are nothing.
That's what our people need to know. Stop trying to put these people on your level. When the Most High said you're special in Deuteronomy 7:6, and then he told you, what's that, Isaiah 40:17? Isaiah 40:15. Give me that, Shanetta. Read that again, Gracie.
Thou hast said that they are nothing, but be like unto spittle.
Be like what?
But be like unto spittle.
Like a bad taste in your mouth. Read.
And hast likened the abundance of them into a drop that falleth from the vessel.
Hey, that's kind of disrespectful. That's kind of what Yahweh Shah just said about the woman. Right? Now Yahweh said, hey, you like spit. You like if I had a big bucket of water and only a drop fell out. That's what you mean to me. Yahweh Shah said you're a dog. We got to put these things in perspective. So we're going to take some of these dogs and they're going to build the kingdom. Read Isaiah 40:15.
17, I think.
Give me 15 first.
All right. Isaiah 40:15. Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket.
Oh, he said the same thing. They're going to witness, Judah. The nations are what?
Are as a drop of a bucket.
If you got a big bucket of water and a little drop, I don't care. Read.
And are counted as the small dust of the balance. Behold, he taketh up the isles as a very little thing. And Lebanon is not sufficient to burn, nor the beast thereof sufficient for a burnt offering.
Right?
All nations before him are as nothing.
Are what?
Are as nothing.
Read.
And they are counted to him less than nothing.
Right, so
And
all
that-
the nations, let's find out who the nations are. Now the precepts is flying. Give me rest of Esther 10 and 8. Now look. We about to do a little something. Give me that, Judah. Can you get that rest of Esther 10? Start at verse 8. Let's find out who the nations are.
10, 9, 8.
Bring that out. Let me see where you at.
I think I got it highlighted.
All right, so give me. Start at verse 8. You got it? Rest of Esther.
All right, Esther chapter 10, verse 8. And the nations were those that were assembled to destroy the name of the Jews.
Read it again. And the nations were what?
And the nations were those that were assembled to destroy the name of the Jews.
Now the nations are those that destroyed the name of the Jews. It told you that. Give me Psalms 83. Let's get the names. Let's get the ones that came to destroy the name of the Jews. I want you to stay there, Shanetta. Give me Psalms 83. And
Is it 4?
83 and 3.
Okay. Psalms 83 and 3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones.
They came together to destroy the names of the Jews. Read.
They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
Verse 5.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
The Lord said they consulted together with one consent to destroy the name of the Jews. Read.
They are confederate against them.
They're all together. Who?
The tabernacles of Edom.
The who?
The tabernacles of Edom.
Hey, the Edomites, man. The white man. Why is the Most High always naming him first as his chief enemy? Read on.
And the Ishmaelites.
The Ishmaelites. Those nasty Ishmaelites at your corner selling you rat, dog, and damn synthetic weed. liquor and fake jewelry and fake clothing and overtaxing you and calling you buddy and sleeping with your little sister in the back room and selling your mama drugs and putting damn bad gas in your gas tank. These are our enemies. Read it again.
The tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites
Right?
of Moab and the Hagrims, Gabal and Ammon,
Right, the Japanese, the Chinese, and who else?
and
Amalek.
Amalek.
These are the ones in Jerusalem right now. The ones that they call in the Olive people. Read on.
The Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre.
Even the Africans. Even the Africans. So all these nations are going into slavery. Give me Jeremiah 30 and 16. Let's prove that. So this is what's going to happen. We going up, right? We coming back down in our own land. We're going to have slaves. And these slaves are going to have to build a kingdom. Read that, Jeremiah 30 and 16.
Jeremiah 30 and 16.
Read that.
Therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thine adversaries, every one of them, shall go into captivity. And they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey.
Right. It says, therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thine adversaries, every one of them, shall go into captivity. And they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and all they that preyed upon thee will I give for a prey. And that's thus saith the Lord. Right, so we gonna need slaves, Trinity. Look at all the hard labor that we doing. Sometimes y'all barely see me. I'm working so hard. Right? Look at all the hard labor we gotta do. Give me that give me Isaiah 14 and 3. You got a precept, Snutter?
Yeah.
Bring it up. And somebody give me Isaiah 14 and 3.
Did you want the rest of Esther?
Yeah, and my people, right? Start that again. In the nations. Because he said the nations are nothing. Right? He said the nations are spittle. The nations are a drop of that falleth from a bucket. So keep reading. Read that from 8.
Esther chapter 10 and 8. And the nations were those that were assembled to destroy the name of the Jews.
Right?
And my nation is this Israel, which crieth to Yahweh, and were saved. For the Lord hath saved his people, and the Lord hath delivered us from all those evils. And Yahweh hath wrought signs and great wonders, which have not been done amongst the Gentiles.
Read on.
Therefore hath he made 2 lots, one for the people of Yahweh, and another for all the Gentiles.
You see that? So there's 2 lots. There will be no kingdom with the Jews and the Gentiles. There's 2 lots. One of salvation and one of destruction. You had a preception of it?
Yeah, Psalms 2 and 8.
Read that.
Psalms chapter 2 verse 8. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thy inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession.
Right. So I'm gonna play a video. Cause you know. Keep reading. You got it.
Verse 9. Thou shalt break them with the rod of iron. Thou shalt dash them into pieces like potter's vessels.
Right. So I'm gonna play 2 videos about the color of Christ. I wanted to play this earlier. Go ahead, you got it.
How could that be true? Because they lied, but they said he wasn't rich in hue. Hair like lamb's wool, feet like burnt brass, hiding in Africa where he didn't have to pass. Mom and daddy, they was black too. What you colorphobic people gonna do? I got a website just for you. www.racismtest.org. If you say color doesn't matter, and that's a fact, why don't you tell the world that Jesus was black?
Right. So leave it up there. So, close the door.
There's some people out there getting upset whenever we say black labor built this country, but we're not making anything up, guys. These are facts, and we're about to present you with the historical receipts. In case you missed it, this is what we mean when we say we built this. Here's a quick history lesson.
So give me Isaiah 14:3 real quick. Isaiah 14:3 before we play this. Give me that. You got it?
Isaiah 14:3.
Read that.
And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow.
And the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow. Read.
And from thy fear.
And from thy fear.
And from thy hard bondage, wherein thou wast made to serve.
And from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve. They say we the laziest people on the planet. But we built this place. We built the railroads. We built the houses that they live in. We cultivated the land that they make millions and millions and millions and millions upon millions of dollars off of. We did this. Even when you go to the restaurant, we're working in the back. Our beautiful black young women, they're the waiters. They're passing out the plates while the old nasty white men are lusting over them. If it's not a so-called African American woman, it's a so-called Mexican, right? And they like them half naked. When you go out here, you're not going to see white men picking up the trash. It's going to be so-called African Americans. We're going to be picking up the trash. When you go to the medical field, it's not going to be little Becky and Amy picking up these 400-pound people. It's going to be LaQuisha, Tisha. It's going to be all sisters. It's even going to be the elderly woman. She's 60 years old and she's still picking up 400-pound people. Read it again.
And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest.
We need rest, man. We've worked enough, man. We've worked enough. Read.
From thy sorrow. And from thy fear.
Read.
And from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve.
Right? So I'm going to play this.
So, Daddy, what you just said, that Gracie just said, that's what the Most High made the Sabbath.
That's why he made the Sabbath. Yeah, so we can rest. Hey, but we going into a greater Sabbath. We enter into the seventh day. I'm talking about the whole seventh day. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Y'all. The first slaves were brought to the U.S. in 1619. Their job was simple: to make white settlers money. Slaves grew tobacco, rice, and indigo on the plantations of the southern coast. Now, fast forward to the late 18th century, cotton was king, and the U.S. was making stacks of cash on it, especially with all that free labor. Over 600 million, or just about half of the country's economic activity, in 1836 came directly or indirectly from cotton. Cotton-producing slaves were just 6% of the population, but created almost half of 1 year's economic activity. We spoke with Professor Edward Baptist, the author of The Half Has Never Been Told.
That 6% figure is specifically the enslaved Africans and African Americans who were in the cotton-producing regions. We're looking at like South Carolina, Georgia, Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana.
Talk about being critical to a nation's economy.
I guess you can imagine some sort of science fiction world where this didn't happen, but this is what did happen. Slave labor in the U.S.
And their contributions weren't limited to the South. A little bit north in D.C., there's the White House. We built that.
I wake up every morning in a house that was built by slaves.
If you doubt our forever First Lady's words, the White House Historical Association spells it out pretty plainly. Planners turned to African Americans, both enslaved and free, to provide the bulk of the labor that built the White House, the United States Capitol, and other early government buildings. This country's financial center, we built that too. Wall Street earned its name because enslaved Africans built a wall to protect Dutch settlers from raids in 1653. This wall ran from river to river. Slaves built the roads, the docks, and most of the big-time buildings in the area that would soon become New York City. And railroads, slaves did that. North America's 4 major rail networks, all on lines that were built and operated with slave labor. Before the Civil War, nearly every rail line east of the Mississippi River and south of the Mason-Dixon line was constructed or run at least partly by slaves. You know what else we built?
What about that great American music genre? Yes, rock and roll. We built that too.
And blues, and jazz, and hip-hop, and pop. America's favorite snack food, that was the black guy behind the potato chip. The ironing board, a sister. The traffic light, yep, he was black. The super soaker, that was a dude named Lonnie. He's black too. And the person who invented the technology responsible for the caller ID and call waiting, her name is Dr. Shirley Jackson. And yes, she's black. Clearly, there isn't enough time to go through all the ways black people have built this country. They're vast. Don't get it twisted. Native American and many immigrant communities have made tremendous contributions to the infrastructure, identity, and imagination of the U.S. as well. So when we say we built this country, we actually mean it.
What's up? I'm PJ with the Root.
So that was that on that. So we're gonna have to, we're gonna need slaves to build our kingdom. That's only fair. That's only right, right? So how can you be a king? How can you be a princess when you don't have subjects? You need subjects. You need people to tell what to do. Right? You know, like they kind of they feel sorry for us. They kind of feel like they take care of us. You know what I'm saying? They feel like when they've given you something, hey, that they've done the whole world a favor. They got that superior hierarchy thought pattern that they look down on you with, like you need them, right? And that's how it's going to be in the kingdom. They're going to be solely dependent on us, right? So we might throw a 3-month party, you know what I'm saying? And hey, look, hey, it's going down. You got something, Shanetta?
Yeah, I was trying to. Yeah.
Yeah, bring me that. Yeah, that's a good one.
Leviticus 19 and 13.
That's a good
one. Leviticus 19 and 13.
Read that.
It says, "Thou shalt not defraud thy neighbor, neither rob him. The wages of him that is hired shall not abide with thee all night until the morning."
You see that? So read it again. The Most High said, look, you should, if he worked for you, pay that man the same day. You work a job here, you might have to work. They call it you got to put a week in the hole. You might have to work 14 days before you get one check. When the Most High said, "Hey, pay this man before the nightfall," right? And it tell you that in James. Let me see if I can get that precept. Anybody know that precept in James? James 5. James 5. But give me Revelations 21. No, give me Revelations 11 and 13 real quick. Okay. All right, let me see if I can get this in James.
Revelations chapter 11, verse 13.
Hold on real quick. This James 5 and 1. It says, "Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you." And we know the rich man is the Edomites. So all through the Bible, our forefathers was in the spirit. They was prophesying of this man's downfall. Right? Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten. Why? Because we know that everything they got through rape, rob, and murder. Free labor. That's what we just watched. That's what Leviticus 19 and 13 just said. It says, "Thou shalt not defraud thy neighbor, neither rob him. The wages of him that is hired shall not abide with thee all night until the morning." They got 400, 500 years of free labor from us, man. Right? So listen, it says, "Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasures together for the last days. Behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which of you have kept back by fraud, crieth, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth." You see that? So all this this unjust gain, this make America great again spirit has come up to the ears of the Most High. Why? He gonna cough it up. He gonna spew it out, right? Give me that Revelations 11 and 13. We're gonna end we're going to end. I'm going to show you something. Give me that, Shanetta.
Revelations 11 verse 13.
Read that.
In the same hour was there a great earthquake.
Right.
And the 10th part of the city fell. And in the earthquake were slain of men 7,000. And the remnant were affrighted and gave glory to Yahweh of heaven.
Okay. So, the Bible is telling us that America's going to be totally destroyed. And every man that's left behind in it will be destroyed also. But somehow, these people think that the devil is going to rise up after 1,000 years. Let's go to that. Revelations 20:1. We're going to break that down real quick. Let's show you what that means.
Revelation 20:1.
Give me that, Shanetta. Revelations 20:1.
Revelations chapter 20 verse 1.
Read that.
And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key to the bottomless pit,
Mm-hmm.
and a great chain in his hand.
Uh-huh.
And he laid hold on the dragon.
Right, we know who the dragon is. The dragon is the European nations. Read.
That old serpent, which the devil and Satan and bound 1,000 years.
And bound him 1,000 years. Read.
And cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more.
Till when?
Till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled. And after that he must be loosed a little season.
He's going to be loosed a little season. So they think this is going to happen after Yahweh Shah come back and conquer the nations. This has already happened. Let's prove that. Watch this. Watch this. Now it's time to, this is when you match history and you pin Esau to the wall. That he can't get away with. How many years it say he's going to be bound, Jasper? How many it say?
1,000.
Let's find this. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this, y'all. Click on the screen, Shanetta. Look what we found, Esau. Look what we found. Now let's do a little math. How much time is the century?
10 years?
No.
20.
No.
5.
100 years is a century. Oh my God. Okay, we got some working to do. We got a little working to do. Okay, so zoom in on that, Shanetta. Let's do a little math. I'm gonna turn it sideways. Okay. Now, what you see what that say up there?
Middle Ages.
The Middle
Middle
Ages.
Ages.
What are the Middle Ages, right? You see all these Europeans? Now, let's read this. Read that, Shanetta.
And the
Hold on. Okay, you got it.
In the history of Europe, the Middle Ages of the medieval period lasted approximately from the 5th to the late 15th centuries.
Do the math on that.
15 times 100 is.
1,000 years.
Yeah.
These are the Middle Ages. These are what the white man want to call the Dark Ages.
Okay.
This is when he was over there dying. This is when the Most High took this dragon and he bound him up there in the bottomless pit, Europe. This is when he was over there dying of all types of nasty diseases. This is when he was dying of the Black Plague. This is when Rome, the European nations, fell. Rome crumbled. This is what he don't want to talk about. This is the 1,000 years where the Europeans were bound. Right here. From the 5th century to somewhere around the 15th century. 8,000 years. And what did he do when he came out of there? Read verse 3.
Verse 3. Going back to James.
Mm-hmm. Give me 20 and 7. Give me Revelations 20 and 3. And then give me 20 and 7.
Revelations 20 and 3. And cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled.
So after the 1,000 years, he's going to go back to deception. Read. And
till the
that,
1,000 years should be fulfilled, and after that he must be loosed a little season.
Read verse 7.
Verse 7. And when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed.
Who?
Satan shall be loosed out of his prison.
And then what's he going to do?
And shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four corners of the earth, Gog and Magog.
So after the 1,000 years is up, Satan's gonna be loose out of that bottomless pit, out of those chains. Now let's see what these Edomites did. After the Middle Ages, we got a thing called the Renaissance. Yeah. How did you know?
History.
Yeah.
You got a thing called a Ren.
It's studies. Renaissance.
I'm gonna wing it.
Social studies.
Right? The Renaissance. You see that? You see that? You see that? The Renaissance. Read that, Shanetta. Read
The
that.
Renaissance is a period in European history making the tradition or transition from the Middle Ages to modernity and covering the 15th and 16th centuries, characterized by an effort to revive and surpass ideas and achievements of classical antiquity.
Right, so they wanted to.
Antiquity.
They want antiquity, classical antiquity. So what they wanted to do was rebuild. They wanted to rebuild. They said we're going to rebuild Rome, and you can see one of the first things they did was whitewash. You see these pictures?
Images.
You see, this is the Renaissance. Look at that. Who is that guy up there?
Oh my God.
You see that? You can't get, this is how he deceived the world. This is what Satan did when he got loose. This is the first thing that he did. As soon as he came up out of the bottomless pit, he started deceiving the nations. It's right here. You can't get away from it, man. This is the first thing that damn devil did when he came out. He started give me that and give me that in 1 Maccabees 3:48, man.
I got a precept too.
You got a precept?
Mm-hmm.
Let's watch this a little bit more. So this is what he did, man. He started, look at this. I don't know. This is.
Wow. Very foul.
That's supposed to be God and Adam? I never knew that.
You know what?
That's some type of, wait a minute. Wait a minute, man. Oh, is that, look at this, man. Look at the angels. See this stuff? That's what they did. And they took, yeah. You don't want to go there.
It's day heaven.
Yeah,
It's a
that's
rap.
they have.
It's a rap.
You see that? Them Zeus and them. This is who our people be worshiping, not knowing. They be worshiping Greek gods, man. You see them flying. Some of them got that pitchfork.
Right.
You see, some of them got harps. Some of them got bows. You see? This is the Renaissance. Immediately after, look at this.
Oh, what the heck?
And they just a bunch. This is what they this is their heaven. A bunch of naked white men. This is their heaven. You see?
Oh my God.
Hey, this is why this guy he gotta go. He gotta go, man. Ain't no place for this guy, man.
I got a precept.
Bring it up.
Job 9:24.
Bring it up.
It says the earth is given into the hands of the wicked.
What did he do?
He covered the faces of the judges thereof.
Right.
If not, where and who is he?
Right. You got that?
No, First Maccabees.
3 and 48. Give me that.
Okay. First Maccabees 3 and 48.
Right.
And laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen has sought to paint the likeness of their images.
He did what?
Wherein the heathen has sought to paint the likeness of their images.
Hey, this is the Renaissance. Everything that he did can be recorded and proven through prophecy and history. This is how he's uncovering Esau. Now you might have a man, you show all this information, and then they'll say, no. Hey man, that's on you. That's on you. We're going to end with this. Let's get this.
16 is when I hear that the black people brought here on the slave ships could possibly be the same people that the whole Old Testament is written about, the Israelites. And so I started to research that and read and watch videos and read things online. And it, especially after reading Deuteronomy chapter 28, the first half of the chapter is the blessings that Israel will receive if they just keep the commands. That's all they had to do. And then the second half is the curses that are going to fall on them if they don't keep the commands. Please go read those. Go read those and think about what these people have been through since day one of arriving in this country as slaves. And you just make up your own mind and pray about it and see where the Father leads you on that. That's all I can say. For me, personally, this is my journey, and for me, it brought the scriptures alive to me. Like, I believed it. Like, these are, to me, his people that are still living this curse.
Black people over here getting killed, the black people in other countries scattered in the slave trade. That's the real biblical Hebrew Israelite.
So as a Gentile, I'm here to profess, black people, you are Israelites, you are the chosen ones, you are a prestigious people.
The black people, the people of color that are here, that have been brought here from Africa, their ancestors brought here from Africa, are the Hebrew Israelites. They're even in an African dictionary, African and Negro are two different things. They're two different classifications of people.
Brothers and sisters, blacks of America, it's you. You are the true Hebrews. You are the true Hebrews from the Bible.
I would interject that the true biblical Hebrews are the so-called African American people that are scattered abroad throughout the world.
The real Jews were Hebrews, black men who used to go there.
Now, the only race of people that were brought over on ships and sold as bondmen and bondwomen, which are slaves, are the so-called African Americans.
Specifically, the people who have been sent all over the earth on slave ships, those people are superior, even in the Most High's eyes himself, because those people are the Israelites. And there's a scripture that says, not only it says if you bless them, you'll be blessed, but there's also one that says you have to cling to them or you can't even be saved.
I know the black people here are the true Hebrew Israelites.
All right, so with that, hit that light, turn the light back on. Gonna give all praises to the Most High, Yahweh. I'm gonna say Shalom.
Shalom.